Yo, Matt. Okay.
Oh, you see this?
Yeah, just turn the stream on. Let's see if. You going? You going?
Am I going?
Yeah. You just look super casual. You dig it.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. I don't have any nice
Dude, yeah, I kind of had a situation too at home. Like, I didn't know what to wear. Like, oddly enough, all my shirts are dirty. Yeah, you're all right, man. At least you're supporting the company. You know, that's all they can ask.
This is enough. This is They're not going to like see it.
Oh, I know. I'm noticing that right now for sure.
Wonder. What does everybody know? What does everybody know? Just trying out using like the settings and all this stuff. You know, sometimes it's like this.
Let me update it tomorrow. Yeah, I have a caption. Why? So PDF protects my cool font. Yeah, so fun.
going to be getting our presentation started in about 5 minutes, so please feel free to grab food, go to the bathroom, anything you need to do to get ready, and we're going to get rocking in 5, about 6:15. everybody. I know some of you are still grabbing food. That's perfectly fine. For those of you who have some food and drink already, please find a seat. We're going to get things kicked off here. Can you all hear me in the back? Not so much. If anyone from the events team can hear me, can we perhaps get the microphone up a little bit? All right, we're going to go ahead and get things started. Yeah! I just want to start off by saying hello to all the friends and family, Galvanize members and staff, and everybody watching on the live stream. Good evening and welcome to the Capstone Project Presentations for Galvanize's g84 Web Development Immersive cohort. So excited to have you all here tonight. My name is Matt Windsor. I'm one of the instructors here at Galvanize, and I've had the pleasure to be part of the incredible journey that our g84 students have been on for the past 6 months of their lives. It's been a heck of a ride. The projects that these students will be presenting tonight are the culmination of a tremendous amount of hard work and sacrifice. Each student here basically gave their lives up for 6 months to pursue a new skill set and a new career. They bet on themselves, trusted in our staff, and put in the hard work necessary to become web developers. Tonight we get to see some of the fruit of all that hard work and celebrate g84's success. Yeah! Each of them was given an incredibly difficult task. They were asked to produce a full-stack application or the equivalent in just 10 days, using at least one major piece of unfamiliar technology, and ultimately with limited instructor support. They embraced the challenge, and they truly came through this with flying colors. Before we begin the presentations, I want to point out that g84's success is not just due to their individual grit and intelligence, but because of the way that they embraced each other. Nobody really gets through this program alone. It's too difficult, there are too many ups and downs, it's an emotional roller coaster, and it really tests you in a lot of different ways. We do a lot to preach from a staff perspective the importance of embracing each other and leaning on each other for support. That's embraced to a certain degree in every cohort, but I was really happy to see g84 really fully open that aspect of this experience with open arms. They learned how to lean on each other and how to trust each other, especially when times got tough. And I think all of them would say that they probably wouldn't have made it if they hadn't been able to do so, if they hadn't embraced the power of their group, of their cohort, and of the Galvanize community at large. I'm incredibly proud of them. And now, without further ado, let's get to the presentations, and we'll let these projects and these students talk for themselves. So I'd like to welcome up to the stage Connor Mooley.
Thank you, everyone. Very kind. All right, So my name is Connor Woolley, and the Capstone presentation that I built, the app I built, is called Bestboard. A little bit about me. Currently, I am a full-stack developer, and this will come as no surprise to you, but I'll be graduating Galvanize Denver program in 1 week. But in the past life, and what kind of informs this application, is that I spent 3 years working with 501c3 nonprofits, and perhaps more relevantly, I worked very closely with the boards of directors of 2 501c3 nonprofit companies. So that leads us to the problem I'm trying to solve here. I think most of us could agree that 501c3 nonprofit companies are great. However, their legally required boards of directors often are not. Common issues they tend to face, time management, I've always found it to be a huge one. What to prioritize, what is kind of noise and unimportant. They typically do tend to be overworked. Communication tends to be very poor, discordant, not very good, pick an adjective. And then also just kind of inexperienced with a lot of board members as far as actually governing a company. So I wanted to come up with some solutions for that and build an app that would streamline communication and ensure complete transparency as much as we possibly can. Offer an intuitive UI that's very easy to use for anyone at any level of computer literacy. And then most importantly, handle the little things that I found need to be done, but also tend to bog down the actual running of the company and the important business. That includes voting on small issues between meetings, tracking dues payments and processing them, and much more to come. So let me show you what I've got so far. All right, so we head over to the landing page, and you'll see there is a registration menu and a login menu. We'll go ahead and log in with my account using my email and password. Both registration and login have full auth functionality, which is awesome. This takes you to the dashboard where you see an events calendar, a thread of recent activity. Scroll up and you see any polls that might be open right now, and some action items that are personalized. Since I've been a Galvanize student for the last 6 months, I'm super broke and wants me to pay my dues. Then you go to the menu, you can see view profile, create poll, pay dues, delete account, log out, and then for admin users, there's also some functionality there for them. So let's create a poll. Call the poll after capstones, and I don't know, should maybe g84 hit the town tonight after all of this is done? We'll set it to close on July 26th today, and then we'll see that it is now our poll queue. Bring it up. I'm going to say, yes, I think so. And then we see a tally, we see a chart representation, and the fact that I voted yes. And that right now is pretty much what I have for the app. Technologies I use, so I built the front end with React, Semantic UI, Stripe, Chart.js, and Firebase. I built the back end with Node.js, PostgreSQL, Connect, Heroku, and Express. Challenges I faced, this is an app that really invites a lot of feature creep. There's a lot of functionality and features that could maybe be necessary, but maybe aren't the most important thing to get done in 10 days. So I really had to think about what was important and what wasn't. Unfamiliar environment, for me, my unfamiliar environment for this was React, so I had to come from Angular, learn complete new syntax, figure out how managing state works, and I spent literally like a day working with semantic UI models, and that sucked. Future implementations for this, more everything, really. Kind of like I mentioned, there are a lot of features that you could add onto this that would be relevant and maybe essential. I see this having task management functionality, document sharing features, and maybe some kind of real-time meeting tracker as well. But really, there's probably way more that I don't even know about this. And guys, thank you so much for listening. Once again, my name is Connor Woolley, and my app is Bestboard.
Thank you, Connor. We have Nicholas Munson in the building. Woo! Yeah, baby, come on up here. Let's give him a hand.
Hi, everyone. How are you tonight? I hope you're doing well. I realize I can't. Wait a second, get set up here.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Thank you everyone for coming. My name is Nicholas Munson. I, over the last 10 days, have been developing a React Native app called Doggy Business. But before that, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a full stack developer. Before this, I worked 7 years or so bartending and serving tables, ready to get out of that business and into something a little bit more fun. I'm a snowboarder, a skateboarder, I'm a Denver native, I'm a family guy, and I'm a father of 2 awesome dogs. And that's kind of what my, the whole reason why, my inspiration behind it was my dogs, behind this app called Doggy Business. So the problem that I'm trying to solve is sometimes as dog owners, we forget that, you know, we have to take our dogs out to go potty when we're super busy trying to create an app in 10 days, or, you know, just doing schoolwork, doing all sorts of crazy things. You sometimes forget about the dog, especially if you live in an apartment and don't have access to grass just right out the door. Also, miscommunication between some like dog parents. You can be like, oh, I thought you took the dog out. No, now there's some things you got to clean up. Puppies don't know how to communicate that they have to go out to the bathroom, and potty training is extremely hard. So I'm trying to fix these problems through Doggy Business. And what does Doggy Business do? How does this help you? This app remembers this app that tells you to take your dogs out. Doggy Business learns the dog's business schedule and sets an alert accordingly. Doggy Business then adjusts the alert based on the gathered data from walk times, and there's no more frustrations with potty training, hopefully. All right, so let's check out Doggy Business in action. All right, so here's our landing page. You can go ahead and choose login or sign up, and since I'm already a member, I'm just going to go ahead and log in, put in my credentials there, my username and password. And that'll bring us to our dashboard. Here you'll see the dog list, options for walk, edit, delete, and then on the bottom we have a navigation bar. So we can just go over and create a dog profile whenever it decides to go. Now that we're at the dog profile, we can add our name, our favorite toy, maybe some nicknames that our dog has, all the fun, unique, awesome things about our dogs that we need to have. But since I've already got my dogs listed on my dog list, I'm just going to go back over there and let's take Ruka for a walk. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit walk there. You can see that there's no walk currently recorded, but then the alarm will come up saying, hey, a new walk has been created for Ruka. Press OK. That will send the data so that it knows to adjust accordingly the walk time to the next alert. So for demo, I have the alert coming on right now. And the time it will say, time to walk Ruka, please push OK, and that knows that it's time to go take the dog out so we don't have to clean up any messes. All right, and that is Doggy Business. The tech that I used to create this app was a mixture of new and known tech. The new tech that I used was Firebase authentication, MongoDB, React Native, Native Base, Mongoose, and Expo Development Environment, along with my known technology like Node, Express, Cypress, and Heroku. Some challenges while developing Doggy Business include React Native styling. This is something I'm not used to. It's a little bit of time to really figure out how to hone that in. Mongoose and MongoDB were completely new technologies. I've never dealt with a backend like that before, so that was a fun experiment. And then our Expo development environment, it constantly crashes, so that was always a challenge. And time, like I said before, 10 days to learn all these new technologies is just a little bit under the wire and very stressful. And on top of that, my old MacBook decided they didn't want to program anymore, so I had to get a new one. That was very challenging. Some future plans for Doggy Business. I would really like to have some charts showing the activities that our dogs do, like going to the dog park, going out for walks, just showing you how active your dog really is. Some chat communication between dog parents and dog sitters, like anyone who really is going to be talking or taking care of the dogs, anything to do with them, just so that you can talk and communicate with others. And then accident logs, so that we can celebrate not having accidents, because if we log it, then we'll know how long it's been since they've done it. Thank you for checking out Doggy Business. My name is Nicholas Munson. You can contact me here. I'd love to talk to anyone about dogs or beards or whatever you want.
Thank you, Nick. Next, I'd like to welcome Brandon Henry to the stage.
Yep. My name is Brandon Henning, and my application is called Wikimailer. Right. A little bit about me. I'm a software developer. This is my boy Ted. I like systems design, scaling, distributed messaging, kind of back-end engineering type stuff. And so for that, I decided to design an application that is a little bit light on the front end, but is doing something kind of cool under the hood, basically. So this is my application. The user goes to the enter email form, puts in their email, hits submit, and my application goes out to Wikipedia, scrapes Wikipedia, and sends it an email, basically. So this is what the email looks like. Pretty cool. And then if they click on the link, this is the Wikipedia link itself. Seems simple, right? Wrong. So like part of back-end design is like trying to think about like what can break before it does, hopefully. So part of that is I decided to use RabbitMQ, and I like to think about RabbitMQ kind of like my band here. It's above the wheel well. It's a pretty sweet thing, but it looks stock. Except for the really cool roof rack that I put on there. And then, but below the surface, it's ready for anything. So RabbitMQ basically it hands each task in your application into like an individual service, so that if something breaks, it doesn't break the entire thing, essentially. So in this example for mine, if my database goes down, I can still scrape Wikipedia, send an email to the user, and eventually I'll start to see like, hey, something's wrong with our database. We have a bunch of tasks piling up in our database queue. And somebody can go and say, oh, someone changed the database schema without letting us know. Let's fix that. Restart the server. And the database queue server comes up and goes, oh, hey, I have a bunch of database writes I need to make. And it just handles them without affecting anything else in the application. So advantages of distributed messaging are that data is eventually consistent, which is really important. So some people don't get email without going to the database or vice versa. Eventually, every task is going to get handled. Those database writes will happen eventually. You can scale horizontally. It's more resilient than like a traditional regular stack because it's if something breaks, it's break the entire process. The tech I used for this was Node. I used Rabbit, obviously, Redis, Postgres, hosted on AWS, and I used Vue for that really beautiful front end that you guys just saw. Challenges were honestly thinking about what can break before it does is really hard, and it took talking to some more senior level people to be like, hey, do you think about if this happens, that your whole application will just break, basically. Future plans are, it's going to be hard to make the front end look better. Sorry to get better than that, but that'd be cool. I make it stateless to use something like Kubernetes, and maybe something where a user can select like a batch of topics or something like that. It'd be cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon. Next up, we have the closest man to the rock that we have on campus here, J.R. Rockenbach.
How's it going? I was a little nervous today, so I listened to some Britney Spears.
Yeah.
I'd recommend that to anybody. Backstreet Boys, One Instinct also work. I'm J.R. Rockenmacher. I'm a full-stack developer, and I am very much a fan of Occam's razor for problem solving. That is, usually the simplest solution is the best solution. I'm also a kid at heart, and without further ado, I would love to introduce you to my app, Parkour Web Generator. So a little more about me. Not only am I a kid at heart, I love the way my body moving through space feels. I'm an avid racer. I've been a parkour enthusiast for over 10 years. In fact, on the right, you see right there is one of our local training spots called Capstone. And I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the office. And yes, if you're wondering, it does not count unless you say parkour. But there is a problem. There are many WOD generators available, but nearly all of them focus on CrossFit. There's no equivalent for those wanting a regular training guide focused on exercises that meet the demands of the parkour athlete. And everyone remembers from high school physics, force equals mass times acceleration. You put on a lot of muscle mass, that's a lot harder to be agile with. So I came up with a solution, Parkour WOD Generator. As you can see on the left and right, there's two top-level athletes in their fields. One CrossFitter in the CrossFit Games, and the other the father of parkour, David Bell. As you can see from their physique, they're quite different. Even though they're top-level athletes, they're specialists in their field. My goal was to create an intuitive, focused training guide for those wanting to cultivate a lifestyle of movement, all without the mental load of having to plan your own workouts every day. So let's go ahead and take a look at what a typical user story would be. You land on the home screen, which is the workouts. You can generate a workout here. What's a demon burpee at? Let's go ahead and look at the movements. All right, so we got the name, skill level, a description, and a demo. But what if we want to add our own movement? Let's go ahead and use this easy-to-use form. So box jump beginner, give it a description, give a GIF URL, and put a skill level. Submit it. Let's go back to the and see it populate. There it is. And look at that. What a pretty little move. What if we want to give the developer some feedback on this? Well, let's put in our first and last for our email, and a nice little message. And then back to the home screen. So some challenges I faced doing this was building a smart database, relationships to filter all the data as I needed it to do. Feature creep was definitely a problem with this one, as well as I can expand this app to do whatever I want it to do, but I needed to stay focused for this 10-day period. Speaking of the 10-day period, the stress of the last 48 hours, that kind of made me look like this little kid right here. Now, the fun part. Where do I want to go with this app? I want to add kitchen sink user features, including logs, so you can track your progress, comments, favoriting, give a little bit more social aspect to it. Also, map integration. So for training spots, meetups, events, anything you want, I want this app to have. Travel convenience. I want it to filter what equipment you have on hand. That way you don't have to be sorting through workouts. You can just pick one and go. And branding. Who does not like a logo? So the tech used on this, I used Vue, which was my new tech for the front end. I styled it with some Bootstrap. On my back end, I used a Node Express server and a PostgreSQL database, connecting it all with Connect. Deploying it, I set the front end to Firebase and the back end to Heroku. I also want to take this time to give a special thanks. Apex Movement, Parkour EDU, they're a local gym out here. Those videos were demos from them, as well as their training is top notch. So if you're interested, I would recommend giving them a shout. Also, American Parkour and Primal Fitness. Their blog, where they had a workout a day, was kind of the original inspiration. Not having to go to a website, though, and having it right at your fingertips. But most of all, I want to thank my friends, my family, and the staff here at Galvanize that not only believed in me, but pushed me to be better than I thought I could even be. So thank you. My name is J.R. Rockenmacher. This is Parkour WOD Generator. And feel free to contact me, even if it's just if you're interested in parkour, you're a ninja warrior, or a ninja wannabe. Here's my information. Thank you so much.
name is Soundcheck. Before we get into the app itself, about my product itself and so forth, a little bit about me. I am a full-stack web developer, a musician, a geek, a beer lover, and a crazy dog lady. So my app has to be that second one, musician. The problem is, if you're a musician and you ever want to take your app on the road, the riskiest thing you can do is do that. You've got a high risk of being robbed with all that gear in that van, and it just makes it more dangerous and cumbersome in general. So, my solution proposal is Soundcheck. It's basically an alternative to taking your gear. You're relying on local communities to help you out when you're visiting there, and in return, you help them out when they're visiting you. So, at this point, you might be thinking to yourself, doesn't this just kind of shift the problem? Yes, kind of. But I think we can all agree it's much safer for me to take an amp downtown to the Marquee than some guy from Portland who's going to do the same thing, then leave it in the van over that. You might also be worried about your gear. Obviously, as people, we really like our stuff. We take care of it generally. When it's not our stuff, though, we might be a little bit more lax as to how much we take care of it. Because of that, credit card storage and a rock-solid terms of service are a must. Having said that, let's go ahead and do a quick demo of how it works. So, here is Soundcheck. As a borrower, on the top right, if you click the borrow link up there, you could sign in, or if you don't already have an account, you can choose to sign up. We're going to go ahead and create some credentials. There we go. Now we have the option to log in. This user doesn't have anything though, so I'm going to go ahead and log in as a user that does. Once we log in, up top, we can see matches that have already been made, requests that have been made. If we hide those below that, we can make any request. This is a long form of a whole lot of information, where you're going to be, when you're going to be there, what you need, who you are, and so forth. Once we fill all that out, go ahead and submit that, our date and our time. We'll get a notification letting us know that we've successfully added that to the database. At this point, if someone who wants to help someone else out, I can click lend up the top right. Again, I can sign up or log in, and I can log in. Up top, I'm going to see matches. I've already agreed to help out, some people I'm helping, where I need to be, what I need to bring with me. I can hide that and search for a city or a zip code, find out who needs help and where, and it'll also show me a little map as to where that is, so I can figure out, do I really want to help this guy? I mean, he's all the way downtown and so forth. Once I go ahead and fill that out, you can see there's a form here. It's the same thing, filling in information about who you are, where you live, what you're going to bring, and so forth. So that is the bulk of it. It's basically just matching folks with each other to help each other out. Some tech I use for this are MongoDB and Scrappy on the back end. All of my maps were generated using Leaflet. The majority of my app was built using Vue and Bootstrap for Vue, and then finally it was deployed on Heroku and Firebase. Challenges. These are some specific examples. One is generating multiple maps dynamically. Originally, I had hoped to use a different backend for my project, but due to some outdated technology, or outdated documentation, I did pivot in the end to something else so that I could get something out. And also credit card storage, basically in the cloud, so that I can charge those people should they need to be charged if anyone damages the guitar or amp. Future implementations are adding that customer credit card storage. OAuth for user authorization. I'd like to have a rating system so you can decide, do I really want to take the risk on this guy? And also some more mapping features such as routing. My name is Jose Trujillo, and my app is Soundcheck. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Next up, we've got Tim Hurley.
Evening, Tim.
As Matt said, my name is Tim Hurley. I'm the developer and creator of Golf Journal. A little bit about me. I am a husband to my wife Bailey is here. I'm an actual father of a human child. Like all my classmates, I style myself as a full stack web developer. Really whatever you want to call me as long as you pay me is fine. I'm also a terrible golfer, and to boot, I'm left-handed, so I can't play with anyone else's clubs. Hence the Golf Journal. So why Golf Journal? I designed this app to help golfers document their performance on not only for your round, for a given hole that you play in your round of golf. My scorecards are regularly in the hundreds, so the idea is, I look at my scorecard, it's only half of the struggle of playing golf. I don't know, there could be a hole where I hit 2 drives out of bounds, but maybe the rest of the hole I played pretty well. And so this app is designed to help me understand, through the course of a round of golf, like how I played on an individual hole. So I have a demo for us. I want to look at it as well. So here's my app, Golf Journal, description. Here, I can type my name. I've typed it 1 billion times today, so it's hard to save. Click login. I'm taken to my dashboard. From my dashboard, I can see the different rounds of golf that I've saved in my application. I can click on the round of golf, and I can see the notes I took on each individual hole. So here, I chipped in from 50 feet on this par 3. I've literally never done that in my entire life, but I'd love to put that in my app at some point. Click sign out, I go back to the homepage here. So if you are a new user, you've never used my app before, you can sign in here. And it tells you, oh, hey, you've no track round, so go play a round of golf, right? So you click start a new round here. Select the hole you want to start on. You can start at 1 or start at 10, depending on what course you play on. You can say the score you got. I have no idea how you got an ace on a par 4, but I can save the hole here. The 4 clears out. I can save another hole if I want. Click finish round here. The round displays, and the round's tracked now, and I can see the review of that round as well. So that's my app. The technologies I use for this app were React, which is my unfamiliar technology. I deployed the front end on Firebase. I deployed the back end on Heroku, which is a Express, Node.js Express API backed by a PostgreSQL database. I use Connect.js in that API to query my database. I also use a CSS library called Bulma for styling. The challenges that I encounter in this app are coming from a Vue.js background. React is definitely not that. React is a lot of JavaScript, and which is great, but it just took a lot to get over. There's no v4 to create a bunch of items in our list. So, also part of that, React Router and Vue Router are different things, and that made it really challenging to understand how I need to get people from A to B in my app. Also, scope creep, as other of my classmates have mentioned, was a real thing. Future plans for my application are to actually use a type of authentication provider like Firebase, maybe display my user's total score at par, and perhaps refactor the application using React Native. Once again, my name is Tim Hurley. My app is Golf Journal. You can contact me here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Tim. Next up, please put your hands together for Kyle Kubera.
Hello everyone, my name is Kyle Kubera. I am a full-stack web developer here at Galvanize, and tonight I'd like to start things off by sharing a little bit about myself. I am a dog owner, an art enthusiast. I enjoy snowboarding, but most importantly, I'm a big sports fan. And so that leads me to the app I'd like to present to you tonight. Jump Shot. Jump Shot is an app that lets you select any NBA player from any team that lets you select your stats and to visualize things that you would like to see. Oftentimes when I watch basketball games or any live sporting events that matter, I tend to wonder how the individual players will compete. So I created an app that lets you easily view the player's stats to see what the player is best at. All right, it's game time. Let's do it. Here's the home screen. Let's you select the team. Scroll down the list of teams. Let's pick the Nuggets. All right, and the Nuggets we listed their players. And let's see what we're going to pick. All right, let's go with Nikola Jokic. Sweet. So here's the stats in chart form, and you can see his two-pointer percentage, field goals, three-pointers, assists, and last but not least, turnover percentages. So if you like that, you can add it to your favorites. Here's a list of your favorites. And also, if you don't like one of your favorites, you can remove them from your list. So let's get quiet out of there. He's out of there. All right, and that's my app. My technologies used were React Native. My styling was a database and Expo. And on the back end, Node.js, Express, Next.js, Postgres, and deployed it on the back end through Heroku. The challenges I faced during this was to learn React Native, build databases that tie in to my API library, and also styling through a database that I found very challenging. Some of the future additions I'd like to include would be to add more charts for more data, and also add a login screen, and to also add additional data from game to game for the upcoming NBA season. Thank you so much for your time. Here's my contact information.
Thank you, Kyle. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Colin Nielsen.
Good.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Colin Nielsen, and I'm in the design portfolio. So about me, I'm a photographer by trade and also a visual design enthusiast. What I've been trying to do at my time at Galvanize is really figure out a way to marry these passions of mine and these new skills here. One thing that I really found out at my time at Galvanize is that the web could really use more art. We get a lot of tools as developers to make really forward-thinking, innovative, and just like frankly beautiful web experiences. And I think this is kind of like an untapped market. So transitioning into that, a little bit about my project. I made a 3D portfolio. One of the problems that I was trying to kind of grapple with was that 3D designers can really comprehensively show their work online. Now, what I mean when I talk about a 3D designer is I talk about people who work in programs I'm sure you've heard of, like CAD or things like that, where they actually make like 3D scalable models in like workstation programs on their computers, and they can then like export it to like either engineering jobs or things of the like. And frankly, 2D photos don't cut it. Here's an example of that, like right. Alright, well, you're gonna have to imagine. This one right here, the one on the right is like a GIF that like spins around and you can like look at it, right? But it just makes for a more interactive experience, especially when a 3D designer puts so much work and effort into making something. Yeah, so here we go. Let's do.
There it goes.
Oh, did it work?
It worked a little bit, yeah.
No way.
Hubbard.
There it is. This is not a tech school, right? Okay, so here's the demo. So just a little bit about this app before I'm kind of like. Okay, just a little bit about this app before I hit enter. It's an app that I made for my friend who's a first-year architecture student at CU Denver. So he makes a lot of these models all the time before he actually builds out like the full foam core versions of them. So I gave him a place to kind of like show off some of these models and the artwork that he puts in on the computer as well as like internet. So here's the app when we start. I was trying to kind of like brand him a little bit. Whenever I tried to approach like a branding situation, I tried to say like how can individuals speak for what I'm making for them, right? So for this, I made a very abstract site for a very abstract person. So you see here, if we hit enter, this is so hard to do, so there we go. So we're actually zoomed in through all this kind of fading like mathematical like line connections in the background, and we arrive at this tree structure. What I try to do here is I try to like reimagine the nav. So all the things that you would normally have like at the top, like a nav bar, I imagine as someone sort of like abstractly sketching it out, right? So if we go to About Me, the camera does a little zoom in, and it's like, oh, hello, my name is Daniel. And there's a mouse thing. And if we get back, right, let's take a look at some of the sketches. So here's some of the things that's been sketched out lately. If we go back into Portfolio, this is where we actually see the models loaded in 3D space. So if we click on one of these models here, it'll tell us briefly about the controls, right? We hit OK, click on the model. What we can actually do is we can manipulate and move this model in 3D space to sort of like check out the nooks and crannies and sort of like get a better understanding for some of the work that he's trying to do here. If we just escape, we'll get motion stick and go back to the start. Let's check out this other one that he's got here, right? This one's pretty neat. We can kind of get in close by zooming in on the details, right? Kind of see what he's trying to accomplish here in this more like abstract piece. Cool. There we go. Yeah. Alright, for the tech used, I use 3JS as one of my new techs. 3JS is a GPU accelerated 3D library that uses your graphics card in your computer to actually like accelerate motion graphics in the web. I used Vue for the front end, Connects Express and S3 to make a server for my friend to actually just click a button and upload new models as they come, and they'll be dynamically rendered from an API within the app. And then Iris to export the models as JSON. Some of the challenges we're using Vue with 3JS. It's really weird. 3JS is normally vanilla JavaScript, so just trying to translate these two technologies to talk to each other is interesting. Model controls, where you saw me like spinning around in 3D space, that was difficult. That took like 2 days. It was pull my hair out. And then low FPS is kind of sometimes very intensive with all the lines and all the math kind of doing generative design. So yeah, that was kind of a struggle too. Feature implementations. I would love to support like model animations, right? So I'm sure you've seen like characters running or something like that. I could actually support the animation of that model with VR integration, so you could sort of like look at these things in 3D space with the VR goggles. Local support and just like a password protected upload would be awesome. So thank you. That's me. There's my contact information. I am for hire. I'd love to talk to you, and I'm sure we can make something beautiful together. Thank you.
And now our last presenter of our first group before we take our first break. Please welcome to the stage, Spencer Romberg.
I've never been this tall. Okay, as he said, my name is Spencer Romberg. I'm a full-stack developer, and as a lot of you probably don't know, a trans guy. Because of that, you might be able to assume I've had some issues with mental health in the past, and a lot of my community has too. And also, probably a lot of you, it's just a general problem. So I've created SafetyNet to try and fix this huge problem. Suicide in my age group, 15 to 24, is the second leading cause of death, and that is way too high. And it just keeps climbing. It just keeps climbing as you get older, and it's horrifying. According to a lot of studies, and common sense and social experience, or personal experience, social support is one of the most beneficial things you can use to fight against this. My solution is safety net. It's going to take the weight off the shoulders of everyone involved, the support system, and the person struggling themselves. We're going to have a quick demo. First, from my perspective, I'm logging in as a part of someone's safety net. We're going to log in first. I already have an account. I'm logging in to check on someone, Savannah. She has depression and anxiety, and I just want to check up on her, make sure she's doing okay. So we're going to open up on this page, understanding depression in front of a family member. I want to know what I should say, what I shouldn't say. What is depression anyways? Anxiety, how do you actually help someone with anxiety? Most people don't know, so there's a lot of good information there. Click on her name to message her. Looks like she actually got out of bed, is going to shower, and reading before her. That's a lot for someone that's depressed, so I'm going to tell her about her. She's kicking ass, taking names. So then we're going to go and jump over to Savannah. She just got an alert that I messaged her, so she's going to log in, see what I've said. Her side's going to look a lot different than mine. She doesn't need to know about her mental illness. She knows plenty, she's fine. So she's going to pop up on this nice animation, just breathe in, breathe out. And there's tips down here, breathe through your stomach, not through your chest. It'll make you more anxious if you breathe through your chest. Some quotes that I have a lot of these on my walls actually, just to help me stay motivated. They're super, super helpful. She'll go to her messages, see that I'm proud of her, and she's super appreciative because it's hard to get recognition for things that people don't think are hard. So it's, yeah, she just feels appreciated, and that's badass. The tech I use for this, I use React Native, never touched it before. ChatKit for my messaging, JavaScript, so much JavaScript. Connects, PostgreSQL, Node.js, Express, and Cypress, like a lot of people here. I also used JOTS, bcrypt, and hash for my authorization. Challenges. Integrating Socket IO with React Native. That's why it's not on my tech slide anymore. It took me about 4 days to use that. Screw it, it's not worth it. And any type of social network is really difficult to make. Mad props to Facebook. I did not know it was this hard. Getting people to be friends with each other, getting messages, getting push notifications across accounts. That's just, it's so hard. And that leads me to future plans. Push notifications across accounts. I would like to have regular notifications going out to the safety net just to check on that person, make sure they're doing okay. And on the user side, the person who struggles, they'll have a button there that they can press, and it will send out what looks like a seemingly random notification to their safety net so they don't feel pressured to ask for help, but help can still be given to them. And I built it in 10 days. A lot of web fixes. That is me. That is my contact information. If you want to help me build it, I want to make it a real thing, get it on Google Play and App Store. So if you want to help give me a hand or give me a job, either one. Thank you once again. My name is Spencer Romberg, and this is the Safety Net.
Thank you so much, Spencer. So that concludes our first group, first of 3. So we're going to take a quick break now, about 5, maybe 7 minutes. Great time to use the bathroom, grab some more food, grab a drink, whatever you like. And we'll get started again soon. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Alright, everybody. Alright, everyone. 3-minute warning. 3-minute warning. Please start getting back to your seats when you get a chance.
Clap once.
I thought about doing that.
No, we'll kill the vibe of it. We'll flow. We'll do it.
I'm looking at there.
Can plug it in.
It's a little weird. A little weird, like jobs, learning some new stuff. Got you look at this some of these.
No, but this isn't that much trick.
I know. It's actually large in elementary school.
We use that trick.
All the time. No, elementary school.
All right, yes, please make your way to your seats so we can start this second round. Keep it rolling.
Go.
All right, everybody, please put your hands together for Haley's Capstone!
Alright, good evening everyone, my name is Haley, and today I would love to present to you my application called Galvanize. So a little about me first. I am a front-end web developer. I grew up here in Colorado. In my free time, I love reading, exploring, and learning new things. And part of that learning experience was attending the University of Denver Business School. And while I was there, I learned the basics of finance and accounting, and also the ethical pitfalls of finance and accounting, which brings me to my problem, which I'm trying to solve with Bank on it. And that problem is that trusting banks with your hard-earned money is really, really risky. We saw that in 2008 with the big financial crisis. We've seen that a lot recently with security problems with banks. And figuring out which banks are riskier than others for certain products is really hard. It takes a lot of research. And then also finding verified customer issues and reviews of those banks is super hard as well. Google reviews, you can't really trust those. You don't know where those are coming from, who that person is. So what I tried to do is take data from the FDIC, and oh boy, that's a lot of information. I don't make y'all read that. That's really boring. But basically, FDIC is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and what they do is they make sure that banks and financial institutions are not doing fraudulent business or mishandling consumer money. So here's a quick little demo of the application. So you have a landing page here that gives you a little information about the app, and then you can start a new search. You can then search by your state or zip code for a narrow search. I'm going to do Colorado. It'll then pull up all of the FDIC filed consumer complaints for banks in that state. It also has some great graphs like complaints by companies, so you can go and see which companies have the most complaints, and then complaints by product. So it's like mortgages get a lot of complaints in Colorado. There's multiple pages of reviews as well, so you can go to a different page, see more reviews there. And then you can start a new search for a different state. Let's say if I'm moving out of state and I want to check out what's happening in California, I can go ahead and see what's going on there. Alright. So, here's a close-up of one of those graphs. I know that demo is pretty small. This was really difficult to get to render as well. I had to reduce down thousands of data points per state to show exactly how many complaints per company were shown in the exact state. So you can see that there. The technology I used for this application, on the front end, I used Vue.js with Beautify CSS library component, and then a Vue wrapper for Charts.js, and that was all deployed to Firebase. And then on the back end, I used MongoDB, Monk, Express, and that was all deployed with Heroku. Challenges, so for this project, I basically learned an entire new stack. The only familiar tech in that was a little Chart.js and a little Express, but everything else was brand new for me. So learning Vue and Mongo was pretty challenging. And then looking at the large database, so that data came from a 27 megabyte CSV file that I had to convert to JSON and filter and reduce down, and use a way that wouldn't bog down runtimes for the applications. That was a big challenge there. Future implementations I'd love to do with this application would be to allow users to create accounts that add personal comments onto this complaint, so if they had a similar experience, they can inform users of that similar experience. I'd also love to integrate with Google Maps so we can then pinpoint where each of those banks are in your location, and then do more in-depth data analysis, maybe do like for the whole country, or maybe dig down deeper into the smaller little things there in each complaint. Again, my name is Haley, and that was Bank on It. I'm available afterwards to talk about my app or about me being a job.
All right, thanks so much, Haley. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Jared Cassidy. Yes. Well, how y'all doing? I'm a web developer, I'm a civil engineering student, and avid snowboarder, all-around outdoors enthusiast, and recently, I'm a proud uncle of this guy, Baby Ellis. And over the past few months, I've gotten to witness the joys of having a newborn living with you, and also the grief. So over the past few months, my sister gave me an idea that she's been begging me to do, which is to make a diaper tracker called Diaper Ball. It helps new parents keep track of their babies' diapers while their mind is going to mush. So congratulations, you're the newborn. For those who don't know, you will no longer be sleeping, and you will be changing dirty diapers in the middle of the night. Your life will be completely centered around your child, and you will not know what you're doing half the time because you can't remember if you changed it 10 minutes ago or 2 hours ago. So you obviously need something to remember these things by, because when you go to the doctor's office, they're like, hey, how is he going to the bathroom regularly? Is he not? Or it's like, no, but it was green yesterday and it was gross. So Diaper Ball solves this problem with a simple mobile interface. It allows parents not to keep track that they changed the diaper, but also what type of diaper they changed. All these dirty diapers are then visualized on a chart called the Diaper Ball curve. So you then sign in. Kaylee's going to sign in here. Where's the passwords? And then, as you see here, Alice has reached the status of celebrated pooper. He now has 15 diapers and 12 books. So we have our diaper ball curve here, showing all our dirty diapers, and our chart showing them over time. We can delete them. We don't want to do that. So we'll edit this one, put it in there, and once we have it edited, you know, are you want to do that? Yeah. All right. So let's change it. So we have our dirty diapers changed. Then we can add a dirty diaper. So number 1 or number 2? So yeah, that's diaper ball. So I built this using React Native, and that's a new technology for me. All the other technologies I learned was MongoDB. So those you've seen tonight, React Native is this cool framework where you can do a JavaScript application built into a native application, which allows you to basically make a website on a mobile phone, which is awesome. So I use Victory charts to make my curve. I also use Node.js, Express, and Monk, and Heroku to deploy my database. As you can tell, these are definitely challenges. Any of you definitely played stuff with Excel, you know making charts in there is a lot of fun. But trying to make that something you don't know in 10 days is a little challenging. Future implementations of this, I will let you nap tracking, life events such as walking, talking, crawling, rolling. Some alerts like say, hey, your kid should be taking a nap right now. Would be great. And an emailed report saying, hey, you know, this month he's pooped 700 times. My name is Derek Cassie from Diaper Ball. If you want to talk after the show, it'd be great. Thanks. Thank you so much, Derek. I'd like you all to put your hands together for Peter Charles!
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Chun. I'm a full stack developer. For my Capstone project, I created Bark Power. Before attending Galvanize, I got my animal science degree from the University of Tennessee. I've worked in wildlife conservation and wildlife rehab before moving to Denver. And at the University of Colorado, I worked in the lab animal science and biomedical research. I worked in that field for about 5 years before deciding to come here to Galvanize. A couple months into the program, my girlfriend Haley and I decided to adopt a puppy named Ted. And with adopting such a young puppy, we both realized how important training is, but also proper socialization for the developer. Once he was old enough, we began taking him to dog parks. And after going to the dog park a couple times, we soon realized it's very hard to tell how many dogs are there or what kind of dogs there are. So, for a solution, I created Bark Park. Let you see a list of dog parks in the area, select your favorite dog park from that list, and you can see which dogs are currently there. Dog owners can sign up and create an account, create a profile for the dogs, and you can check in and out with that dog park. So let's see the sound in action. As I open the app on my phone, I can log in using my username and password, which will take me to my profile page. And you can see Teddy's on my profile. If you have a new dog or more than one dog, you can click the add a new dog, fill that out. You can click on the bottom where it says dog parks and see a list of local dog parks. You can add a new dog park, and then you can also click on each dog park. And at the rail yard dog park, you can see that Annabelle is there with Nick, Caitlin got Indio the monkey, looks like Fiona got Kiki. As I arrive, I'll have to just click check in, Teddy is added to the list. Once we're done playing, just simply click check out. For the technology used, I use React Native Elements, Native Base, all for my front end, Expo for the development, and Cypress for end-to-end testing. For my back end, I use Node.js, Express, Connects, Postgres, which was all deployed early. The challenges I faced was trying to learn React Native. As a lot of us in our cohort face a similar problem, developing and styling for a mobile app is a lot different from designing and scrapping for a web app. Also, Expo development tools in the simulator was a huge problem for me as I wanted to crash it a few things. For future implementations, I like to allow the user to upload photos of their dogs directly from their phone. Have the ability to set future dates and times you plan on being at the dog park, and a messaging feature for users to communicate with each other. Here's my contact information. You can also follow Teddy on Instagram. Teddy, I'm curious. Once again, my name is Peter Chun. This was Bark Park.
Thank you so much, Peter. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Sandy Cowper!
Cowper, and I am a full stack developer. A little bit about myself before I get into my app. I was born and raised in New York City. I have an art background as a muralist and a decorative painter. And before attending Galvanize, I was an aging in place certified interior designer for over 15 years. Part of my job was to find solutions that would allow aging seniors the ability to stay in their current home for as long as possible. So this leads to my problem. The aging population will go from 35 million in 2000 to a staggering 73 million by 2030. Aging in place will become more important than ever. I believe that voice-assisted devices like Google Home and Echo Dot will be a solution to this problem. But current voice-assisted devices like Alexa have one personality. They can seem dry, robotic, and well, impersonal. So ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Personify. Personify is a marketplace consisting of a variety of voices, personality modules that can easily be synced to your voice-assisted device. Each personality is created with a distinct characteristic, making them totally unique. It's time to get rid of that boring old Alexa and replace her with a new personality that fits your needs and brings more comfort to your life. Let's take a tour of the marketplace. So upon entering, you see there's a variety of personalities, and you can see their descriptions. Let's check out Apollo. You can see as a personality sample.
Hey Alexa, talk to my friend Apollo.
Why Apollo again? I'm overjoyed you feel like chatting.
Hey Apollo, get this. My friend and I were shopping for vintage boots today, and for some reason they thought this torn up pair of Timberlands were going to go so well with the purple studded vest they were wearing. I didn't want to be rude and voice my disgust, so I just gagged a little inside and patted them on the back.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Some people are just born without style, I suppose. One time, when I was on a dinner date, I looked down at my plate and realized the salad was dressed better than the person I was eating with.
Let's go back to the main page and see who else we have. Let's check out Eva.
Thanks, Alexa. Talk to my friend Eva.
Hey, I was wondering when we get to talk again.
I was out dancing last night, and I thought about that story you told me about the nightclub in Ibiza.
Oh, you mean the time I met that bald guy and was convinced you were Moby?
And then you spent the whole night telling people you were Moby's girlfriend.
I'm totally not pushing. Alright, maybe I'm pushing a little.
Well, Eva sounds good. Let's add her to the card and head over to our card summary page. And as you can see, she's right there. You can check out. Fill out your typical credit card information. And you can also go ahead and sign up for an account. And you can also sign in, log in, and check your current orders. And that is my app. The technologies I use were HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React on the front end. I also use Next.js. On the back end, I use Node Express, Next, and PostgreSQL. I use Molten API as my e-commerce. I used Amazon S3 to host my personality samples. I used Stripe as my payment library, and I deployed on Firebase and Heroku. The challenges that I faced, oh, the many. Learning not one, but 3 different technologies in 10 days that I never knew before. So that was a huge challenge. I'm glad to say that it actually worked out. Implementing Stripe as a payment library was a little tricky. Just again, I wasn't super familiar with it, so learning where to put like the secret keys, adding MP3 sample to Molten, and styling with Next.js is a little bit different than having your typical CSS files. So you actually style within your React components. Future plans. I'd like to add more styling. I want to make it a little more interactive. Add a brochure page, which will have a commercial on it. We want to make this available to all voice-assisted devices on the market. Have all personality modules working and added to the marketplace. And we will be heading into beta testing soon, probably within another couple months or so, hopefully. If you are interested in becoming a beta tester, you can go to the link below and you can fill out the survey for us. Any information will help us greatly. Once again, I am Sandy Halper, and I create the Personified Marketplace. I am for hire, and my contact information is here.
Thank you, Sandy. Next up, please put your hands together for Reed!
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Reed Black. I am a software developer, and after 6 months in this program, I am broke. But if everything goes according to plan, I'm about to be not broke, which is awesome. But that has its own array of challenges, like which ski pass should I get? Should I pair these oysters with Dom Perignon or a vintage Armand de Grignac? And also, who should I go to for this tattoo I'm thinking of? Now, getting a tattoo is a lot like dating. At first, you have this ideal in your mind about what it should be like, but you never really know until you meet this person. And in addition to that, you're going to be in close proximity to this person for an extended period of time, subjected to excruciating pain. Now, most of us are not visual artists, but we do have ideas. What we need is an artist that can help us connect that idea, that can make it what we want, make it beautiful, but also true to the essence of the idea itself. And on the other side, artists need a better, more efficient access to the ideas that inspire them. It's this disconnect that led me to my idea for my capstone Inkswell. Inkswell uses Tinder-like swiping to match tattoo artists and clients. Clients will swipe on the design styles that capture the essence of their idea. And if they don't like it, they'll swipe left. On the other side, artists are presented with the ideas that clients have. If they feel the idea inspires them to create their best work, they'll swipe to the right. If not, they'll swipe to the left. If both users have swiped on each other, a match is created and a channel of communication has opened up. So let's swipe on over to my demo. Alright, so we start with the login page. I don't actually have to log in because it's my app. I can do whatever I want. So you go to your profile, and you can see how the artists are going to see this. You can see your idea, and then you can go to the swipers, the core functionality of the app. Once you tap on a card, you can see the artist's larger profile. You can scan through their photos and see what kind of design styles they're creating. So if you feel like this is a style that matches what you want for your tattoo, you'll swipe right. If not, you'll swipe left. Once you've swiped, you can check out your matches, and then you can go to those matches. You can look at their profile again, scan through their work again, and most importantly, the other core functionality is go to a chat page where you can then open a line of communication with the artists. At this point, you can kind of iron out all the little details, get your pricing all figured out, and pretty much everything you need to do to get the thing going off the ground. So on the artist side, it's built out the exact same way. The only difference is you're going to be swiping on ideas instead of design. So you're going to see the photo, and you're going to see a little bit about the idea that the person wants to get. This was my opportunity to roast some of the people in the building, so if you want to see these cards for a little bit longer time, just keep seeing me a little bit later. So let's talk a little bit about the technologies I used. I used React Native with the Vue Native wrapper. I handled my data with Vuex. Some of the smaller components were with Native Base. On the back end, I used Node Express for my server on a Postgres database tied together with Connects, deployed to a Heroku API. I used AWS for my cloud hosting, and I handled the native environment with Expo. So some of the challenges encountered.
View Native was the main one. If you haven't heard of View Native, that's because it was released this morning. I'll catch you all up though. So working in View Native is a lot like working in Vue, but while being bound by your ankles, hung upside down, and beaten with reeds. Only to wake up and realize it was all a dream and you were React Native the whole time. The back end was a little bit convoluted at first. It was definitely a learning experience. It was much more complex than anything I've ever built before, but I'm really glad I got the opportunity to really stretch my understanding of what databases are, how they connect. So that was great, but definitely frustrating. Handling data with Vuex in a native environment is not as advertised. Nobody really knows how it happens, so it's a guessing game at this point. And of course, the notorious day 3 kombucha spill. For future plans, I'd like to implement geolocation. I feel like you should be able to use this app wherever in the world you are, wherever you're traveling. I'd like to figure out some advanced sorting algorithms. I think clients should be paired with artists, and the app should be a little bit more predictive as far as what styles are going to be presented first and shifted to the top of the deck. Finally, I want to hustle a product. I'm going to hit the tattoo conventions and hopefully sell it to Bumble for at least $350,000. Yeah! Anyways, thank you all. My name is Reed Black. I am hyperactively seeking appointments. This is my contact information, and this was Ink Swell.
Thank you, Reed. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Caitlin Ramirez.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Ramirez, and my app is My Sunspot. So, a little about me, I am a yoga enthusiast, and I love hanging out in nature. However, I found that it can be really difficult to find good places to practice outside, because it can be hard to find a nice flat spot to lay down your mat, or if you want to be alone, sometimes parks can be really crowded, or on the other end, you might want to find a guided session outside, and you don't know where to go. So that led me to create My Sunspot, which is an app that shows yogis places around them that are nice to practice outdoors, and it also allows them to share their favorite locations with other practitioners. So we will hop right into a demo. You go to the app, and it'll take you to a map that displays pins around you that other people have added. And when you click on a pin, it'll take you to the location, which will show the name, a picture, and a brief description. And then you can go back to the map and add your favorite location. So we'll go ahead and add Sloan's Lake. And then drop in the location, add a photo, which will draw the first 5 photos from your camera roll. We'll grab that first one, and then toss in a description. And then when we press submit, it'll take you back to the map, which now has a marker of your new location. So I built this using React Native, AWS for hosting my photos, and Connect Express and Postgres for backend. Challenges I face hosting photos with AWS, there are a lot of permission issues that I ran into, and React Native itself was a challenge, but my biggest challenge was the mobile development environment. There were so many times that I thought something wasn't working, but it's just because Expo wasn't working, and what I had written was perfectly fine. So that was my biggest challenge. Future plans, I'd like to create users with the ability to like certain locations and comment on them as well. And then also, instead of picking locations from filling out loud as longitude, I'd like to be able to drop a pin on a map and have those fill themselves. Thank you. I'm Kayla Ramirez, and my app was My Sunspot.
Thank you, Caitlin. Next up, please put your hands together for Travis Rose!
Everybody has it. Yeah. All right. Hey, Dad. How's it going? My name is Travis Roach. I am an emerging full-stack developer graduating from Galvanize. A little bit about me. I was born in Vail, Colorado, and I grew up just down the road in a little town called Edwards, where I was fortunate enough to spend my whole life in the Colorado outdoors, playing team sports, snowboarding, and also playing a lot of golf, which brings me to the idea that I'd like to talk to you about tonight. Now, golf is already a 4-hour commitment, at the very least. So, many of us do not have the time to show up an hour early, in some cases to be sure that we're warmed up and ready to go for our round. Some of us get there at the last minute, either by nature or due to the random traffic that happens in Denver. There are some opportunities to save some time here without taking away from our practice swings. Let's expand on the common saying, ready golf, to include how we can get on the course faster, and we also might be able to alleviate some of the pain that comes with ordering food and drinks while on the course. Wondering where the cart person is. So this Ready Golf app enables us to eliminate the lines at the clubhouse, the slow credit card processors that you have to deal with because we can't keep up with technology for some reason. Or simply having to carry your bags to 3 different places. Personally, this is my favorite. I don't like doing that, and I like to get right to my cart, be ready to go, and get going with my round. I don't practice either. All right, let's check out the demo. So, this is my landing page here. You can check in, or excuse me, this is Ready Golf, and it's at the Crispy Flats Golf Course. So you can implement this at any golf course. And that's me that's logged in, by the way. And not only can you check in, but you can book a new tee time for the future. You can order food and drinks, and you can also shop the Pro Shop directly from the app. So we're going to do a demo here, demo the check-in process. You click that, you see your confirmed tee time at the top. You have the ability to add a rain bucket for some practice balls. You can also add some cheese if you like, really anything from the Pro Shop. The guy will load it into the cart for you, and you just show your unique QR codes to the cart attendant, and you're ready to roll. While you're on the course, you can, maybe you're on the 8th hole, you're about to approach the turn, you can order a hot dog, maybe some potato chips, maybe a Philly cheesesteak, you never know. But we're going to have that nice cold PBR as well. And we're going to have those 3 items in our cart, and we're going to check out here. And we can show that to the cart person and the person at the restaurant, and they just make sure that it's us that placed the order and we're ready to rock. So, the technologies that I use, everything that I used on the front end was a new technology for me. Vue Native is a wrapper around React Native, and I use Native Base for my component library, and I also use Expo for the development environment. On the back end, I generated a Node Express app with connects to my Postgres database, and I deployed that to Heroku. Now, the challenges that I faced are similar to everybody else that's trying to do a native app, whether you're Galvanize or not. I don't think the pain ever stops. So, there's a limited ecosystem with Vue Native, and they do a really good job with the documentation, but there's only about this much of it. So I got to figure out the rest in React Native. So I was fortunate enough to learn a couple different things in the process. And the compiling errors in general are just very difficult. You have to pull off some voodoo magic just to get your app to compile. And then every time you make a change, it recompiles and you have your fingers crossed the whole day. Future implementations. I would like to add credit card and Apple Pay integration. Push notifications, a variety of different features, one of those being geofencing, which is once you enter a certain geographical area, such as the parking lot of the golf course, it will prompt you to check in if you haven't done so already. So you can go ahead and do that, be on your way. I also want to add a course API integration so that it will tell you what your distance is as a whole, maybe what club you should use or whatnot. And the internal platforms, I will meet with the golf course owners and see what they need to match up with the user-facing app that I have for their inventory management, point of sales, and booking management system as well. Once again, my name is Travis Roach, and this is Ready Golf. Thank you very much.
Travis. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage, Keith Jones!
Welcome everybody. My name is Keith Jones, and I'm here to tell you about the app that I built called Truck Goops. Before we get there, a little bit about myself. I'm born and raised in Colorado, like a few of us are, and one of my favorite things about our beautiful state is the beer culture, brewery culture. But along with breweries here in Colorado comes food trucks, but there's a problem there. It's really hard to find. Unless you unless you subscribe to each individual truck's social media accounts and keep up with all that stuff, you never know if there's going to be a truck at your brewery, you never know which truck's going to be at your brewery, and it's kind of a crapshoot all around. So that's where I came up with Truck Goops. It's a very simple application where trucks can share their locations, and users can see which trucks are open and where they are. So let's give it a try. So let's say Bijou's Curry Shop, instead of doing buffet style dinner tonight, they wanted to post up in their awesome food truck. Oh. All they would have to do is go to the truck login page. If you have a new truck, they could create a profile through that portal, but I already added Bijou's for the purposes of this demo. So they just enter their unique username, and it'll geolocate where they are when they check in. So right here on the 4th floor of Galvanize. They can also check what other trucks are open around them, either on the map geographically or through the list down at the bottom if they want to look it up by name. And then when this thing wraps up in about an hour, maybe 3, all they have to do is hit close, and that will remove their pin from the map, and they'll be ready to get back in next time they want to open. The user side is super simple, just as easy as the truck side. They can also see the trucks that are open by geographic location or through a list if they're looking for a specific truck and they want to see if it's out. And as you can see, the Bijou's is no longer open. Technologies I use, I also use Vue Native, like our friends Travis and Reed, which has a little element of React in there. My backend database is built with Node Express with Postgres. It connects to hook it all up and just deploy on Heroku. Challenges, just like our other Vue Native people, it was hard to learn Vue Native, which was actually React Native, so all the syntax is a little different. And the maps actually were super, super basic for Vue Native, so I pretty much had to somehow mash in geolocation and map functionality from a React database into the Vue wrapper. And it was also kind of tricky building an app with 2 users in mind, so like the food trucks as well as the users who are looking to find the food trucks, but we made it work. Future implementations, I love that push notification, so when a truck is open, you get an alert on your phone saying that such and such truck is open and where they're at. It would be really awesome to have menus and in-app ordering. I don't know if any of you guys have ever waited outside in the snow for your food outside of a brewery, but it'd be nice to be able to just order that inside and run outside as soon as it's ready. And it'd also be fun to build out the user side with a little bit more in-depth user profiles where they can pick favorite trucks and track where they are and all that stuff. Once again, my name is Keith Jones, and that was Truck Goops.
Thank you so much, Keith. And now our last presenter of Group 2, a man who hardly needs any introduction at all, Brennan Good!
So I'm Brevin Good, also a local full-stack developer, probably more famous though for my role as Apollo in Personify. Today I'm here to talk to you about Payme Connor. It's a bill sharing app for mobile devices. Before I get into it, a little bit about myself. I have a Bachelor of Science in Recording Arts Technology from UC Denver. former audio engineer before the program, and a current musician. I've lived in Colorado most of my life, going on like 20 years now. I love video games, which is kind of what got me into coding. And most importantly, for the scope of this app, I have roommates that never pay their bills. Specifically, one roommate named Connor. So let me dive into the app. What is Paying Connor? Like I said, it's a bill sharing app, but as a user, you can create an account. You can add as many roommates as you got, and as many bills as you're paying. You can add records of individual payments, and you can see a lot of all past payments as well as the total balance, the running total balance. So let's dive into a demo here. We're going to start off on a landing page where you can log in. Just log in with a test account. Perfect. Once we're inside, we can see all the bills, and we can see a log of every payment that's been made. We can see all of our roommates and what they currently owe, as well as a list of all the bills and a timestamp for when those bills were created. So let's go ahead and make a new bill. We're going to make a water bill for $50. We're going to add that. We can see it's added to the list. We can go into roommates. The totals update now that we have a new bill. Everyone knows a little bit more. We can also add a new roommate, split up the payments between them. You can see the totals update there as well. Then we can go over to our payments log and we can add a new payment. You can see water is at the bottom there as well. So here we're going to go ahead and say Charlotte, our new roommate, is making a payment on that water bill. She's going to throw $20 at it. And at the bottom, we can see her payment was made on July 26th. Right there, she paid $20. And the totals update as well for the current balances. And then we'll sign out. So that's the app in a nutshell. What it's built on, everything's built on Node. Used Express for doing routing in the back end. It's a Postgres database. Connects does all of my query building. For the front, it's deployed on Heroku as well. And for the front end, using React Native and React Native elements for styling, as well as bcrypt doing hashing for authentication. Challenges I faced, database structure. I used Postgres before, but I never made anything that was like truly relational. So I used like my first joins, aggregates. I used left join, which people that know I never even heard of it before, and a group by. And then in the front end, just React Native in general is a huge pain in the butt, especially getting styling done. It can be really difficult sometimes to get things that you want. Cool. Future feature implementations. I'd like to have multiple users. Right now, only one person is in control of all the bills. But in a lot of households, one person pays water, another person pays energy, and so I'd like to have that feature implemented, as well as actually creating, right now it's kind of getting faked, everybody is logging in as me, no matter what you type in on that login page. And doing actual image hosting, I kind of fake that, permissions as well, and then payments, ideally, through the app, so you can actually pay, right then and there. I'm Brendan Good. Thanks for listening. This has been Paying Connor. And if you want to reach out to me, feel free to talk to me afterwards or contact me.
All right. Thanks so much, Brendan. So that concludes our second group. We're going to take another like 5 to 7 minute break. Keep things rolling here. Hopefully have everything wrapped up by 9 at the latest. We have 8 more wonderful presentations, so please stick around. Thank you very much.
Pretty excited. Now they said they can wait.
2-minute warning, and we're going to begin our final group of the night.
I need to do a clap. You do another clap?
All right, everybody, let's get this last group started off right. Please put your hands together for Marco!
Thank you all for coming out. My name is Michael Miller, and I've created Skipline. I'm a full stack developer. A little bit about me before we get into Skipline. I was a personal trainer for 10 years. After that, I spent about 4 to 5 years as a manager at a call center. I'm currently a computer science student at the University of People, and I'm a software developer, is what it looks like. But what I'm most proud of is I'm a dad, and the little girls in the crowd tonight. And as a dad, more than anybody, but as a dad especially, I really hate wasting time, especially at the grocery store. It's my worst enemy. So at grocery shopping today, they've added some conveniences to help us out. Home delivery obviously is really convenient. In-store pickup or curbside pickup. With that in mind, why do we shop in the store? Product tangibility, I mean, holding the product in your hand means a lot. Also discovery at the grocery stores, be able to find new things and get some new ideas for cooking. Also accuracy. I received a block of cheese about this big from Walmart one time, and it cost me $1, which made no sense. Immediate satisfaction. I'm a millennial. And of course, we'll be able to look for samples, right? Yeah. Reason we don't go where as much as we like to, these lines. So I've created Skipline. Skipline is a mobile application that allows shoppers to skip the line by completing the checkout process via their mobile phone. Little demo of Skipline. On the first page, just some basic directions. This is me today scanning a box of Kashi Golden Crunch. Once you scan the item, it gets sent to your cart. And then in your cart, you can add items. You can also delete items. It has a really simple checkout method on the last page here. The nice thing about it is when you are finished and the checkout is complete, you can have the option to view the receipt or email the receipt. Some challenges faced. React Native camera to get the barcode scanner to work properly. It's fun. Xcode projects crashing. I think you guys have heard that about 15 times tonight. Deploying my database to Heroku. Styling on a mobile device is completely different. And then the payment system Stripe in React Native. Some future implementations, using it beyond grocery stores, and clothing stores, you name it. Inventory tracking. As a business owner, I would really like to know when a product is off of the shelf as soon as it's purchased in that. Theft prevention is obviously something that needs to be added. Also organization, so if you know what aisle that item is in, I live there. You can organize your shopping trip. Then also advertising when you scan the item. The tech that I use, the new things is a Mongoose, MongoDB, and React Native. Express, deploy my database to Heroku, and Node.js are all. And that is Skipline. I'm Michael Miller for Hire.
Thank you, Michael. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mark
All right, my name is Gareth Stevens, and I'm a full-stack web developer graduating from Galvanize. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my project, Dreadmore Heights. But first, we're going to get a little bit of information about me. I am an artist. I love to implement art in creative different ways. I am a technologist, so I believe that technology should be in the hands of everyone. I'm also a horror fan, so if there's anything with blood and guts, and if it's super scary, it's right up my alley. And I'm also a lifelong gamer. I grew up playing Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, and those experiences really stick around with me. And that leads me into my project, which is Dreadmore Heights. Well, what is it? I did something a little bit different. I actually went and made a video game. I don't have to take the easy path, so I went with something I really had no clue what to do with. And I made it based on some of those games I played growing up, such as Silent Hill or, Resident Evil, things like that. And it's also survival horror based on those kind of games. And it's open world, so there's no real scripted environments. You kind of wander around and you pick up the pieces as you go. So here's a short little demo. I was able to capture the aesthetics of original PlayStation 1 style graphics by using a shader that takes out the anti-aliasing of the engine. And what that means is anti-aliasing is when a 3D engine smooths out the rough corners of a 3D made object. And when you do that, it's pretty much like a pixelated line like you were drawing it in MS Paint back in the day. You could draw a line that has little ridges in it, technically a line. Well, what anti-aliasing does is it smooths out those corners by putting like if you were to put a piece of plywood on stairs. It just smooths it out, makes it look a lot nicer. But one of the downfalls back in the 90s, they didn't have that kind of technology or the processing power to handle that. So I was able to remove that and then have the textures kind of wrap around all the objects indifferently, so they always look like they're trying to keep up with your position. So what I used is I used everything new, which is only two things, but I was knee deep in this and I loved being, completely surrounded by things I had no clue what I was doing with. So I used C# to write all the scripts, so the gun damage, the health, the enemy's movement, behaviors, things like that, and also the camera. And all that was imported into Unity, which compiled everything, all the 3D models in RAM. So challenges obviously were learning Unity and C#, and creating AI was actually really difficult. Having it know where to walk, things like that, and then 3D vector translations for the camera and the player's movement to figure out where you're supposed to be walking. Some future implementations, I want to have semi-permanent bodily harm. So what that means is, like, say you're facing an enemy and he happens to cut your arm off. Well, you have to live with that if you can survive. So you won't be able to use a shotgun very effectively. I also want to make everything explorable. So most open world games, there's always going to be some locked rooms or something you can't go in. Developers get lazy. So I want to make everything explorable. So if there's a cabinet, you can open it. If there's a door, there's some way to unlock it, even if it doesn't seem relevant right then. And I also want to include multiple enemy types based on your location. So if you're around a lake, maybe there's like an aquatic style enemy, things like that. So thank you. That's my game, Dreadmore Heights. If you want to contact me or know more about it, please let me know.
Thank you, Garth. Next up, please welcome to the stage, Hunger!
My name is Önder, not Wonder, by the way. Good evening, everybody. My name is Önder Günachan, and I'm going to tell you about my app release today. And before that, a little bit about myself. I'm a full-stack web developer based in Denver, Colorado, and prior to Galvanize, I worked in the hospitality business for over 5 years. I'm originally from Istanbul, Turkey, where I lived for 24 years, and after bouncing around Arizona for a while, I finally settled in Denver, Colorado with my wife. I'm also a major hiking enthusiast. Part of the reason I moved to Colorado, Denver actually, is because I love outdoors, in which Colorado has so much to offer. And I love to get outside and then hike with my wife and then with my dog, Mavi. My dog will go anywhere with me, but my wife, on the other hand, she had a back surgery a couple of years ago, so she will worry about how difficult the trail will be, or how long, or sometimes she doesn't want to drive that much. So I thought many other people might have the same problem. When you are hiking with other people, not everybody has the same experience level or physical capacity. So other apps will help you to find trails, but you may have to go through like hundreds of trails. Often you will find a trail with the right difficulty, but you may find out that it's 3 hours away from you. So as a result, I decided to create an app, hoping to help people to find the perfect trail. So let me show you how it works. So this is trail list. First, we have to give permission to the app to detect our location. And then we go to the search screen. We put our filters first, maximum distance and maximum length of the trail. As you can see, I have 6 difficulty levels. Let's say easy, moderate, and challenging. Search. It's loaded from the data. And so 68 trails were found. As you can see on the top of each trail, the trail name, location, and then the length of the trail. The difficulty levels are color-coded to make it easier to see. And all these trails are actually sorted by the distance to the user's location, starting with the closest. Once you find your trail, once you select the trail, you simply just hit this direction button, and then it will take you to Apple Maps or Google Maps if you haven't installed in your app on your phone. And then you are ready to drive. Yeah. So technologies I use for this project, I used Node and Express for my backend, and then I used MongoDB to store my data, and I deployed it on Heroku. React Native for the front end, and Cypress to test my application. I also use many other libraries, unfamiliar libraries that are not listed here. Some of the challenges I faced learning and implementing multiple major technologies in 10 days, such as React Native and MongoDB. I copy and paste what everybody else said about mobile app development and React Native. They're absolutely right. And for the last 10 days, I pretty much every day worked on this project until midnight. I'm sure this applies to everybody else here. And I'm very excited to go to bed tonight. So official implementations, I was really close to get user authentication work in my app. I just had a couple of front-end issues. I think I will make it work in the next few days. Once I have my user authentication working, my users can comment on the trails, rate them, and then save those to their profiles. And I would also like to gather some more data and add more filters so my users can have more control over the trail search, such as dog friendliness or weather conditions. Again, my name is Önder Güneşan, and thank you for listening.
your hands together for Taylor Sherwood! Have to do some of those breathing techniques Spencer talked about. Hi everybody, my name is Taylor Sherwood. I am a full stack developer, just like everybody else here presenting. And I'm talking to you tonight about my app community. A little bit about me, I am from a very small town in southern Utah, about 1,000 people. I came out when I was 16 years old. Didn't really have a lot of resources, didn't really know anybody else who was going through the same thing as me, so that's kind of where I came up with my idea. Flash forward, moved to Denver, just got engaged to my fiance Brandon that's here. So one of the biggest problems I encountered coming out of a very small area was my nearest resource center was 164 miles away from me, so a really far drive, really had no resources, so that's how I came up with the idea for Community, which is an app to get people who are newly coming out to the community as gay, lesbian, transgender, matched up with a mentor. So here's the demo of my actual app. Here's the landing page, a little bit about who we are, what we do, some testimonies. Then we're going to go into the login page, which includes every demographic of the LGBT community. Kind of start with your username, password, kind of the generic sign-in everyone has. That was one of the biggest challenges, was making sure this was inclusive to the whole community. This is the mentor profile page, so this is all the profiles of each mentor, so we can go through, read about each one of them, kind of who they are, their story. We click on Nick, this is our profile Jeff, now we're going to start the secure chat with him. Type in our username, you can see all my other usernames when we were testing out live chat. Oh. Perfect. So here's the chat. So this is where the users can get to actually start chatting with their mentors and going through the, oh my goodness. This has been a recurring thing with Galvanize. So here's the chat. That's pretty much the demo. Oh my goodness. The technologies I used was React as my front end. Socket.io was my new technology, which was that live chat feature you've seen. Postgres, Express, and Heroku. I deployed the entire app on Heroku. Some of the challenges with the inclusivity, making sure the entire LGBTQ community was included in this. Socket.io is the biggest pain in the butt I've encountered in this whole 6 months I've been at Galvanize. It took like 3 days to get that going, and then deploying the Socket.io was awful. I had to take a couple hours. Future implementations, I'd like to add a parent section, especially parents who have trans kids, to kind of meet up with other parents. And that's it. Thanks.
We'll maybe test this out to make sure it's going to work. You think it's a short in this thing? Not sure.
Alright, thank you so much, Taylor. Sorry for those technical difficulties. But everyone, please put your hands together for All right, give it up for Fiona.
Hi everyone, I'm Fiona, and I am a full stack web developer here. I made the beauty basket because anyone who knows me should know at this point that I love beauty products. Hair care, skincare, makeup, toiletries. I love every sort of beauty product. The problem is that my pantry kind of looks like this. It's a huge mess, and the reason why is because I just buy everything. So right now, the beauty industry, they sell a lot of new stuff. I'm 112% victim of all these marketing plays. You can sell me a Q-tip with a unicorn tip, and I'll buy it. I think it's time to start saving some money here. And that's what the beauty basket is for. The beauty basket will add cosmetics to your basket so that you can virtually see all your products, receive push notifications based off of the expiration date, and hopefully save some money. I'm going to do a demo here. So this is the beauty basket. When the app loads, you'll see what's in your basket already. So looks like I have a mascara, some skincare, and conditioner. If I wanted to add something new, like a face mask that I recently purchased at Sephora, I'm going, oh, it's also a skincare product at the time, and say it expires 6 months from now. February 26, 2018. I'll add it to my basket, and there it is. It'll tell you, it'll give you pretty much everything that you put in, tells you when it expired. And if I decided I didn't want to purchase this face mask, I will delete it from my basket. Technologies used are listed here. I think the newest technology for the Capstone was React Native and native base. There is PostgreSQL and ICBlock here, and I'll tell you why in a second. Because the challenges I faced were learning React Native. You guys have all about native at this point, and Expo. But MySQL versus Postgres, I built my database and everything in MySQL, and then Connect says it's really easy to implement it, but it's not. So I jumped back to Postgres really quickly. Cutting out features was a big thing. I can tell you my basket had, I was very ambitious with this whole pipeline thing in the beginning of this pipeline now. And not spending my money on Sephora. So spending a lot of time on the website, kind of browsing through items was very tempting. Future implementations, I want to put that camera functionality in for the Python stuff to image to text recognition scanners and data analytics. I think it'd be really cool to have people be able to see how much they spend, their velocity of spending, what they spend on, what they should and shouldn't spend on, based off of push notifications. Push notifications, I believe, kind of goes down the data track as well. If they can receive notifications based off of how they receive the product, it can ultimately just capture more data for what they should and shouldn't have and be smart with their money. That is all for me. If you want to talk to me, here's my contact information.
Thank you so much, Leon. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage, Dylan Mee!
Thanks, Galvanize.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all you beautiful people out there. Everybody who came to look at our presentations, all the staff at Galvanize. You guys have been absolutely amazing. So thank you guys. My name's Dylan. I decided to make an app called Wager. And it's been really fun. A little bit about me before we get started. I was born and raised here in Denver. I grew up just a little bit south of here. I've been a lifelong competitor, and I consider myself a lifelong student, and that has been two of my favorite parts about building this application. So Wager is a social betting application. It gamifies the bets that you already have every day between you and your friends, and it lets you hold concrete proof about how much better than them you are over their heads with statistics, win percentage, etc., etc. So this is where I would take you through a demo. This is a live screenshot of what I could get to render at 10:24 a.m. this morning. I stayed up all night last night trying to fix things, pulling my hair out. One of the most frustrating experiences of my life, but we move forward. So this is the data flow, some of my original wireframes for the app, and some implemented features as well. It did have and does have OAuth. When you go to the app, you can see how many bets you have won. If you have any unpaid apps, you can challenge friends to new bets. On the left there, it shows you all of the bets you currently have. In the center, there's a group page, and then messages are also implemented in the back end as well. Let's take a look at the technology I used to build the app. On the front end, React Native, I used Flux Router to route between all the pages, and I implemented Redux for all of the bet actions as well. There's an amazing page full of actions, reducers, things like that. I really encourage you to take a look at the code if you have a second. On the back end, I built the server in Node, routes and Express, connect everything with connects, and use Passport.js for all of the authentication. Challenges. React Native, as everyone said, is a huge challenge. Linking is not supported in React Native through Xcode, so OAuth and React Native at the same time is an even bigger hurdle. I had to use a bit of Objective-C to kind of fix some problems that I had in the past, but the entire developing environment is different than regular React. The data was very difficult as well. All the data tables for this app are related. They all join. There's 6 different tables compiling all the data, and updating one bet updates 3 different tables. So there's a lot going on the backside. OAuth is pretty difficult, as if any of you have decided to implement your apps. It requires extra express routes, and then the information that you get back from the OAuth sites needs to be parsed and used and turned into useful data. Future implementations for the app, other than making it work right. Further social media integration. If you log in with your Facebook account, you should be able to, invite your friends and send them messages and share on your feed about the bet you just won and things like that. I'd like to have app-wide challenges as well, where it builds a bigger community for the app users. And this being a betting app, I don't know about the legality, but having a Venmo socket where people can pay you the money that they owe you. Recap about the app. This app definitely did not need Redux implemented into it. That was kind of my stretch goal, to teach myself something new. Data is everything in these app developments. If you have an awesome backend, then you can build an awesome app. And with everything crashing, it really made me come into perspective about all the things that I've learned while building the app. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much. My name is Dylan again. And if you want to look at the code, please, I encourage you to. Hit me up on Slack, or here, or send me an email.
Thank you, Dylan. Next up, I'd like to welcome to the stage Juicy Baby Jacob Nixon!
So, good evening, everybody. My name is Jacob Kingston, and I'm going to show you my capstone called Portfolio. So, you might be wondering, why not Photofolio? Because that's actually trademarked, so I can do that. But yeah, so here's Portfolio. Before we dive in, a little bit about me. I went to CU Boulder for computer science. Do you have any buffs in the crowd? Any buffs? Buffs? All right. Yeah, I'm a Galvanize student here, and I'm graduating in about a week. I'm also a software engineer, so I started coding as early as high school, and it's been my passion. I've been following it ever since. And I'm also an avid photographer. So all the pictures and the slides that you see in here are actually all of my work. So if you like it, just hit me up afterwards. Yeah. So what is Portfolio? Portfolio is an online photography portfolio for professional and aspiring photographers. And why Portfolio? So I want to be able to share my photography with the world, but I have the problem that I don't have any social media, and sometimes the people who want to see photography also don't have social media, so it doesn't work very well. And also, for people in the industry who are looking for photographers to shoot their weddings or to document events, this is going to solve the problem with no unsuccessful searches for photographers. Let's say you hear about a cool photographer, you go on Facebook, and the first picture on there is like a picture of their kid all covered in peanut butter, or they found mom's mascara and it's just a mess. It's not, you're not going to find much there. So here's a little demo. So we're going to start off on the sign-in page. We're going to just fill everything in to go really fast. So we're going to sign up, create an account. Now we're going to log back into the account that we just made. So now we're going to start off our profile. Nobody knows anything about me, so I'm going to fill in, update our account, and then we're going to upload some pictures. So I'm going to pick a bunch of pictures really fast to go through it. Also, a cool thing that I've implemented is metadata, or EXIF, extraneous info. So you can actually edit the data of the picture, like the gear you use to upload it, or to take the picture, and all those things. And I'm just going to upload some more pictures really fast. Now we're going to go back to our profile. You can see the pictures here just like Instagram or any of those big social media networks. Here's the About page. Yes, there's a beer in my hand. I'm only 20. And here's the home page. Yeah, so it's just like Instagram feed. You can click on any of these pictures here. It'll show you the extraneous info. And you can see that we made it. And yeah, that's it. So challenges. One of the biggest challenges was finding the right tech for the project. I jumped around a lot. I wanted to do Angular and Go at first, but I discovered that doing that in 10 days was actually very difficult, so I actually decided not to do that. I also spent way too much time on the front end because I like aesthetic looks of things, so that took a lot of time to implement. Future implementations, small social media things that I didn't get to, like being able to message people, to comment on pictures, and to follow photographers that you like. Picture editing, yeah, after upload. My friend's company has an API that allows you to edit pictures in the cloud, so I'm going to implement that. IBM Watson, instant image tagging for categorization of pictures. I played around with it. You upload a picture based on a URL, it comes back a bunch of tags so you can quickly categorize and put the picture where it belongs. Unsplash Instagram implementation, so if you have a bunch of cool pictures that you already have but you want to upload all of them, I'll be able to implement that so you can just put them right on there. And then obviously, deployment, because this is not a deployed app, this is all localhost developed for now. So tech used, React and Redux on the front end, Node.js, JavaScript, Firebase authentication, MySQL, Express Connects, and Google Cloud Platform for hosting the pictures. Redux was the cool thing that I picked up. It was hard to learn, but after I figured it out, it made the app much smoother. That is all. My name is Jacob Kingston. This is Portfolio. You can contact me here.
Thank you, Jacob. Next up, our last presenter of the night, but first in our hearts, Mike
shocker. A little bit about me. I am a Colorado native, grew up here, love snowboarding, biking, and I love my family. I have a lot of nephews and I have a new baby niece. This leads me to something that made me develop the app that I'm coming up with. My 3 nephews that I have are very irresponsible and they could use a little bit of discipline in their lives. So I made this app for my sister-in-law. It's called the Golden Chore. So it's really difficult to actually get kids on track and doing everything, tracking all the chores and everything that they need to do, especially our nephews. The also hard part is getting them wanting to do that. So we got to come up with a way to incentivize them. I figured out, like, why don't we just gamify it a little bit and give them a reward. My reward idea is a coin. Each coin could be redeemed by the kids for whatever the parents want. So, like, the parents can decide a coin is worth, say, some skate park time, or a lollipop, or ice cream, or anything like that. Real quick, this is it's an app designed for kids, so I wanted to make it very colorful, very simple, and very high contrast. So I'll take you through it real quick. All right, so this is the main screen. You got kids and parents right there. The first one you click on is the kids. As you can see, there's the list of kids and all the chores that they have to do. Let's go back into the parents portal now. Now the parents can see all of the kids that they have, all the chores that they have actually completed, or anything like that. You can see a description of all the chores that are available to assign to each kid if you want. You can also say if you have a baby, let's, add a kid, we'll just call this one Sam. We'll give him 5 coins just for being born, right? So, and then we gotta, assign a chore, add new chores, things like that. So the lawn needs to be mowed. Why not? Excuse me. And that's going to be worth like 5 coins. It's going to take 2 weeks to mow the lawn. Why not? They're all kids. And we'll give it to Sam, the baby. He can mow the lawn. Right? Absolutely. So again, the baby Sam shows back up in the kids portal right there, and that's kind of how it actually works. So it's really designed to keep families on track. As far as the technology that I use, like everybody else, I was using React Native. I deployed my backend on Heroku and Postgres SQL, and I was actually developing for Android, unlike most of the people here. This leads me into some of my challenges. A couple of them are Mac and Android don't like to play nice, especially when you're developing on a new platform like React Native. I also had to set up a whole new dev environment, and then just React Native, I used a couple of different libraries. So it wasn't only just a new language, it was like almost 3 new languages there. As far as future implementations go, I would actually like to do things like a swap chore thing. So like the kids can swap chores back and forth if Billy doesn't want to vacuum, things like that. Different types of currency. I also want to actually link the coins to, say, like a real store kind of environment. So the kids want to exchange their coins for like an Amazon gift card, things like that. And I really do want to gamify it a lot more. I want to make it more of a like the 8-bit Nintendo, original Nintendo kind of stuff, just to keep the kids interested and focused on that. But that's my app, the Golden Chore. I can be found here. Here's all my contact information, and my new little baby niece. Hopefully she'll use it in a couple of years.
Thank you, Mike. A big thank you to everyone for sticking around, for coming to see these wonderful presentations. Let's get another round of applause for G84! Truly a killer set of presentations. As all of the friends and family who are here know, and those who aren't here as well, our students have made some great sacrifices to make it through these past 6 months. They've put their lives on the line, but in so many ways,
the friends and family who have supported them, who have allowed them to kind of do their thing, and perhaps not be quite as attentive or not be able to keep up as much at home. I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause as well. They couldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without you. Yeah, really, I want to thank you all again for coming. This has been a heck of a lot of fun. I think we're all very, very proud of all of our presenters tonight. We're pushing up against 9 o'clock, so again, thanks for being here, and let's call it a wrap.
Good job, Mike.
I was speaking way too fast. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, no problem.